Chapter 4, Deque, y Ajani as time passed. Dazinga was evicted from the bed and breakfast and was invited to live with Ron because he had just rented a new home, and there was notice in his basement, which was on the opposite side of the house, giving Dazinga full access to his kitchen. He would spend a lot of time listening to rave artists of that time like Kate Washington, Chant Moore, Joe Thomas, and Anita Baker, while thinking about Deque. Listening to his music and visiting Deque was his only avenue of relaxation. He looked for work, but the distance to the nearest bus stop was far, but he went looking for work, and when he wasn't looking, he was there in that basement writing his ass off. The man was obsessed with that woman. During this time, he wrote presione. Shaking and shaken, trying to be who you want to be, trying to impress to the rest who you are. Someone special, something especial. Trying to be a superstar. Got all that mess, but can't pass a simple grammar test. Refuse to be self, want to be someone else. I'm looking at your art, looking at your soul. I've noticed that you need to let your art mend, getting self so much. Your mind is confused, you don't know what to do. Trying so hard to be someone else. Mind corrupted by sin. Yet, you don't have a pot to piss in. Wrote. Though I had white folks. So many of us black folks had white folks. Why? Slavery. Civil rights. Jim Crow. And much, much more. How many of us know of the many white folks that died for us black folks? Sure, we have heard of the ones that died in Mississippi. Fighting for the right for us to vote. But it has been crossed out of our minds because of them. How about the many white folks that helped Harriet Tubman with the Underground Railroad? Though he had white folks? No, that's a sin. I would have to have more than of my kin, not to mention myself. Game, that's a sin. We all must live together, blend. Stop shedding because of skin. Nowadays, white folks from the east, north, and west. Come down to the south. I'm happy about what comes out of our mouths. There are a few, hell, there are many, but don't judge anyone until they open their mouths. Look at their actions, to see if they are prejudiced. You have to ask, are you? Prayer is far from prejudice. If he kill your family, will you hate every man from Louisiana? Every dread? A little history, they are not called traits, but locks. Your king called them traits, to create self-hate and prejudice. Treat hatred with love, hatred with hatred causes a fear too big to put out. So, watch the words that come out of your mouths. Not all white folks, not all black folks are consumed with hate. Try to relate. Before you boast, ask yourself. Though I had white folks? Lastly, he wrote. Cry aloud and spare not. Rat-a-tat-tat goes the gat, that's price the brother on the corner. Rin-a-din, din is the Sunday sin, to carry the body away. Bo, ho-ho, are the cries from the eyes of the mother, who birthed the young brother. Altes sounds, ring out every night in the streets, that are filled with the blood of all the people in flight. Even as you read, and listen to the words of reason. Someone's steam has run out. As their loved ones scream and shout. Here, my dear, is the solution. Cleanse yourself of the pollution. All of the things you can do without. When you have been cleansed, then you can blend. Tell everyone of the power. Hell is real, hell is hot. So, cry aloud and spare not. Dazinga didn't know what he was getting himself into by moving in with Ron because Ron was a gigolo dealing with twin brothers who were 19 years old and had a few older gentlemen, as well. He was spoiling most of them with gifts. Dazinga spent most of his time at Deque and stuck to himself, in the basement, but when he was home. He was bothered by Ron's activities, even though he couldn't hear a thing, and Rob kept his company in his room all the time, out of respect for Dazinga. Dazinga felt he was being too sexually active with sides. Many people were being killed for not telling people about their condition, before having sex with them, and felt Ron might be doing the same thing. Deque would come over from time to time, and she and Ron became the best of friends. One day after Deque had left, Dazinga and Ron were watching television. Ron said to Dazinga, "Nay, she's really into you, you'd be a fool to let her go. Hell, if he weren't gay, I'd be happy to find someone like her." Dazinga smiled. "Shit, I never let her go, she's the best thing I've seen in my entire life." Just then, one of the twins came into the house. Dazinga was about to excuse himself, and Ron stopped him. "No, you're lucky, I just came to get something." Ron excused himself and walked to his bedroom while waiting. The twin turned to Dazinga. "You're gay too?" Dazinga said, "Hell nah, Ron, just my friend." Dazinga, in turn, asked him, "How long have you been gay?" The twin, with a strange look, "I'm not gay, I'm a giver, not a receiver." Dazinga said, "Hey." The young man laughed. "I give, I don't take, well, I take the money and clothes, but I don't play that other shit." Rubbing his head in confusion, Dazinga tried to understand the young man's logic, but Ron came in, and they went outside. Upon Ron's return, Dazinga asked, "What in the hell do you have these young men thinking they ain't gay?" "It talks about giving and receiving." Ron said, "I don't have him thinking that way, many feel that way. Especially those that come out of jail or prison. You think I'm going to correct him, and even if he did, you think they are going to stop?" Dazinga shook his head. "Hell, I don't know." One day, while in a rush to get ready to Visite, he ran to the bathroom, and to his surprise, he found towels with feces mixed with blood. Upon looking at it, he ran to the toilet and lifted the seat. There were feces mixed with blood in there as well. Just then, Deque blows her horn. He runs outside and vomits on the side of her car. He waited for a few seconds and entered her car. "Are you all right?" she asked. "No, but I get out of that house as soon as possible, because he's just a madman." Deque asked, "What did Ron do?" "Is a sweet person." Dazinga said. "Yes, he is, but his sexual activities disturb me. Is a whole hoe." Deque laughed. "Not half a hoe, but a whole hoe? Hell, you could best start with me when you first moved in with him." Dazinga said, "I didn't want to rush, but if it's alright with you, I want to move in tomorrow, while you're off." Deque smiled. "No problem. Now, let's go and enjoy the rest of the evening and get your mind off that stuff. Got a taste for some buffalo wings?" Dazinga smiled back. "Those shit stink," she laughed. "Not me." Dazinga looked at her. "Sit." "Oh, okay," and she drove off. The following day, Deque called Dazinga. "You have to work this weekend, they just called me in, so you have to find another way to get your stuff to my apartment." Afterward, spoke to Ron about his situation, and Ron made a few calls. "Hi, Dazinga," Ron said. "He got a friend was a mechanic, and this guy owes him some money for fixing his truck and hasn't paid us off yet. Here's the key, and you have to return it before Monday," Dazinga said. "Hell, it's Wednesday, and all he got is a bunch of clothes and a few books. I ain't no way he won't be finished by Monday." They drove a load over to Deque's apartment before she went to work and got a copy of the apartment key. He made dinner and cleaned up the apartment while she was at work. He told himself he'd made another load the following day because he only had a few small things left and took a break. Until that Friday night. Trying to avoid that Friday night traffic, he took the back roads, where he ran straight into a checkpoint. "License and registration, please," the officer said. "Well, sir, I don't have a license, and the vehicle is a loaner from a friend." The officer went to his vehicle, got on the police cruiser computer, and returned after 5 minutes. "Sir, you are under arrest. Not only do you not have your license, but this vehicle has also been reported stolen." Dazinga knew he would go to jail for not having a license, but he was in shock when the officer said the truck was stolen. Dazinga felt hopeless, because it was miles from home, and a stolen vehicle sounded like a lot of time to serve in jail. He stayed in jail over the weekend, but out of surprise, he heard an officer call his name, and started out processing him that Monday night. He walked to the exit, and Deque was right there. She had called Ron frantically, thinking it was over at his house. Ron and Deque worked together, and found out it was in jail. They had run around all day trying to do what was necessary to get him out of there. Mammalean looked at Cush, chilled. "This sun felt good at first, but not no more. Let's get out of this sun and find some sea." As they moved their chairs into the sea, Mammalean continued. De'Que was released from jail, but it was late after Deque posted bail and waited for his release. De'Que looked at her and couldn't believe it. Wrong. She shook her head and smiled. Wrong. De'Que embraced her so hard her back popped. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but you always surprise me with your love for me, and I'm truly grateful. She was already late, so she gave him Bonfire and rushed to work. It took him a week to escape the shock of being in jail, but it reminded him of being in the army. Still unemployed, he finally landed a job just around the corner from Deque's apartment complex as a short-order cook. Mammalean paused. I need to stop here for a minute because this was a time in our history when computers, well, not just computers, but technology started to creep into our lives. Our black, Bacatilians women started to creep past our men in society. Before you knew it, things got out of hand. Don't get me wrong, it was always like this after the so-called women's movement, but the movement were for the white women and our women got caught up in it. The division of our family unit slowly became null and void. A popular word grew until there was an outbreak. That word was single mother. Now there has always been single mother, but mostly because of death in the family and they were married, widows. But these independent women started party, drinking lying down with any man who could satisfy their monetary needs and able to buy them a drink or two. Hell, you were in luck if they went and got you your own special bottle of that expensive stuff. Because they had said they didn't need a man until it came to sex. What they really were saying was why settle for one man when he can have any one of them. Imagine having 8 kids by 8 different men. One of these men might care about their children, come by and do for his children, the rest didn't. But what about the other kids seeing this? What would they do? How would they feel? Animosity became chatted for your own king. Different children reacted differently to the situation, but chaos began to brew. By the 1980s, all hell started to break loose. You see, during Deque and De'Que's time, around 1992, Bacatilian men, well, those who could see, started seeing themselves get left behind their women economically. Bacatilian men began to think a certain way because they didn't have money, and their women did. Our men were miserable, disappointed, and dissatisfied even to be around. Crack cocaine played its part, and this was part 2 of that, destroy the Bacatilian men, pandemic. You see, men associated their worth with money in a relationship, and when they didn't have that, some of our women started looking down on that, and a whirlwind of destruction came for our people. 4 years later, when De'Que went to a Bacatilian college, he noticed that 80% of the college were women, while 18% were men and the rest were other ethnicities. Most women graduated, but out of the Bacatilian men, only 8% graduated, and they already had a college degree when they met. Many of them didn't know what had happened until it was too late. Psychological warfare at its best. Okay, that's enough of that. We'll talk more about that later. I just had to say that before we got to the next part, so you understand why things happen next. 2 weeks after finding that job, they were impressed with his work as he can charge him for the night cleanup, and they agreed so they could work the same hours as Deque. The two loved each other very much, and they did so much together and were happy together. They eventually decided to move closer to her home at an apartment complex called Windjammer Apartment. Life there was quite different, because the place was better, which meant everything was higher in price, and De'Que was too far from his old job and had to quit because of the move. Deque worked longer hours, and they would visit nearby parks to walk, talk, and relax. They now lived around the corner from Stone Jogan Park. It was their very own sanctuary, and it was often always peaceful. One day after his first big argument with Deque, Mammalean asked Cush, "Can you imagine what?" Their argument was over. Cush said, "This money thing?" Mammalean shook her head, "Yes," and De'Que walked to the park with mixed emotions and wrote, "You remind me." As he take a stroll through the park, thoughts of you comes across my mind. You are a beautiful treasure, that I also did in my art, till the end of time. A thought of joy, pain, and passion crosses my mind. There is no use for me to lie, good times and bad are both cherished in my art. When we're together, even when we do drive each other apart. The trees, they remind me of you. The stubborn things you did. Stubborn things you do. Beating against the wind, you held your ground. The stars seem so distant, yet so close. With the beauty of the night, you do seen. The moon overtakes the brightness of the stars. So did you. Even though I treasure your touch, I do miss you so much. The sun, the heat of your temper would consume me. Which makes me wrong for say. Deep inside, I know I need you, I want you. The animals in nature, act their purpose in life, it's to comfort us, when we don't know what to do. The laughter they bring. Dios Wister presents. Seems to make us forget the pain inside. The fear that burns inside for true love, it makes us do things that we thought we would never do. This goes for me and you. The rivers bring about a calmness that we all need in our life to think and use wisdom in our choices, our decisions in life. The skies. The skies, the atmosphere is a ruler, a measuring tool, to show us how much we can gain with love in our life. Because we are the sons and daughters of a king. You remind me, you remind me, you remind me of all these things. After realizing the burden that Deque felt, the singer started going out and hustling, making anywhere from $50 to $300 in a day. He refused to set crooks ever again, but the talents he learned while in the military with technology that the country needed a hope to do them. People would call him, all times of the day, to fix their computers and help with songwriter and things of that nature, and they had no problem paying him for his services. He would take what needed and give the rest to Deque for whatever she needed to do with it. They studied the Torah, and the singer would teach her what he knew about Sabbath. What frightened her the most was the realization of demonic spirits, but they would always encourage her that one thing that can defeat evil is the mighty power of Sabbath. The singer loved to make fun of her birthday, because it rhymed. He almost sings her birthday is on to her that the growth. 246, 6, I say 2, 4, 6, 6, it's your way on her birthday, it's cake day, for Macy's. However, this particular day, he presented her with a letter bound tortista, and she was in tears. Happy birthday, baby, he said. Wiping her tears, thank you, baby, she said. It is here for a while, but she wanted him to get a regular hug, but having only a school diploma would never be enough in the singer's eyes. Back then, while the men were going to jail and prisons by the thousands, women were having abortions. They cared more about a career or a hope than bringing life into the world. Being a mother meant nothing, literally nothing to them. Until they got old and found themselves without children to take care of them, they simply got a pet, animals of all kinds, dogs, cats, birds, and even fish, you name it. But soon as that animal died, they died because of loneliness. He said all that to say this: one day, Deque sat the singer down, I'm pregnant, but I'm not keeping it. From the second she said she was pregnant, the singer was so happy he didn't know what to do until a millisecond later, she said she would not keep it. His heart sank to the bottom of his foot, and even the thought of an abortion saddened him. Dios got up and left the apartment. The silent treatment lasted for a while, but he loved her. 6 months later, she approached him again, I'm pregnant, but I'm going to keep it this time. The singer was so happy he didn't know what to do with himself. To him, it was a gift representing the love they shared for each other, a child from someone he loved and wanted to spend his life with forever. A few months in, Deque got sick, and they rushed to the nearest clinic. The singer was there by her side, but everything was okay. According to the doctor, since it was her first child, she was experiencing some morning sickness. However, one night, Deque was in so much pain that she could not stand. The singer, I need you to drive. I'm in too much pain, I cannot shift gears and drive. Deque said. The singer was scared because his glasses were broken, and the way to the hospital was not only dark, but at many curves, and they knew he would drive fast. Baby, you know. I can't see at night, and the roads are dangerous, and there is no light going down Stone Road. Deque was now not only in pain, but in ride, but the singer refused to drive for their safety. The singer was logical. Like most men are like most females, she was emotional, and well, she felt he was a heartless son of a bitch and all it against him. After arriving at the hospital, they rushed Deque into surgery. She was experiencing an ectopic pregnancy, and she was clearly in danger at that moment. The singer stayed at the hospital as long as Deque was there. He slept in a chair next to her bed, catering to her every need, running back and forth from the hospital, and retrieving things she needed. From home. Deque was finally able to go home. He was cooking, cleaning, and helping her get around until she was better. Lying next to her one day, he wrote, "It's you. To the keeper of my insanity. To the one who makes it possible for me to be me. Years have gone by. Because love was promised to me many times before, but never kept. Thinking in new love in the past, that eventually beat me on the ass. Hated my women for years, thinking they couldn't be trusted, because of those tears. Those years. And writing about my pain, it seems as if one could go insane. However, you were gone. It's you that got me feeling such joy. It's you that left me feeling like a boy. Who is a brand new toy. Falling for a few, thinking they were the one, but they too were playing games. Just having fun. But now. Oh, but now. I'm walking outside with a smile on my face, it's you. And for you, it's the same way too. Must admit, I didn't think this day would come, a time of joy and laughter, and just having fun. We talk about problems, talk about the past, talk about everything, and still able to laugh. It's you I want. It's you I need. I've locked up my heart, for many years, because of those that tore it apart. Bet you found the key, it's you. Why I'm no longer blue. The pain of losing not one, but two kids had Dazinga depressed for a while, but the latest loss hit both of them pretty hard. But a few months later, they returned to a place of peace, or so they thought. They started redecorating the apartment with everything will. Living room set, and even a toy poodle named Cookie. They even had a little white convertible Mazda Mid. Dazinga took an old antique coffee table, sanded it down, and painted it white as well. When you walked into the apartment, you thought you were in heaven. They had an eye for interior decorating and put her art into it, and Dazinga helped whenever he could. He just wanted her to be happy by any means necessary. Trying to deal with her happiness made him lose sight of the more profound pain he was going through. Depression kicked in, and the communication barrier became an issue for the two. Dazinga stopped cleaning and cooking and spent most of his time getting back into the music business, meeting local and national artists to sing his songs, but that didn't come quickly enough for him. Deque saw the frustration, and she introduced him to a group of women who needed songs. They recorded a few songs together, but even that strained the relationship. Deque was up one morning and at him as the bills piled up. You don't clean up, and your ass sits around watching television. That couch you sitting on, that shit is mine. That food in the refrigerator is my food. She got up and started throwing eggs in the sink. These are my fucking eggs. Dazinga got frustrated and moved out and got himself another bed and breakfast, but that same night, he had already missed Deque. He knew she was right, but didn't know what to do about it. That night he wrote, "I've you seen my car? Someone stole my car. Have you seen it? It can't be far, it's about 5 pulgadas height, kinda petite in width, what's 125 pounds, maybe less, that's the description, I can here for now, because I haven't had any rest, oh yeah, manufactured in the West Indies, along the territory of St. Thomas, the only reason I'm looking is cause I care. Can you help me find my car? I love my car, without it, I can't go very far. White interior, black exterior, it could not be far, my car. Please tell me if you've seen my car." The last time he saw it, he left the keys in the ignition. Cause he was on the phone, he simply forgot to lock it, until he realized it was gone. When he could not find the keys in my pocket. Someone sleeps in and now probably taking it for a ride. Him is washing my car with words of wisdom. Simple conversation of passion, he taught me how to love, sir, and care. Now, my life without her is a nightmare. Running out of patience. Nervous as hell. Has he wrecked my car? Probably, repainted it, I don't know. Can't sleep. Please Lord, tell me. Have you seen my car?